What's going on? I'm Larry Hoover Jr. and I'm rocking with Street Certified News.
Oh, it is your boy Kiss, man. Shout out to Street Certified News.
Yo, what's your boy L Hitter, Mr. Oh yeah, y'all already know what it is, man. I'm rocking with Street Certified News. We got behind the scenes, man. We're gonna tie this bitch up.
What up, it's your boy Bum J. We rocking with Street Certified News. Eastside Radio.
Man, Street Certified News, man. Shout out Big Bo. Shout out Wack. Yo. It's your boy Michelle Guapo, man. Street Certified News. We back with another one. Man, first off, man, if you guys could stop, man, smack that like button on this video, man. It always helps, you know what I'm saying? When you guys drop that like button, you guys always support our videos. We greatly appreciate it. This week, man, you know what I'm saying? With all this Rolling 60 stuff going on and Big U, and there's been a lot of people that have like kind of come out just more than us and have really had negative words for Wack100 regarding his information and how he shares information and how it could potentially be helping law enforcement. Wack100 continues to claim that, you know, he's a street guy and he abides by street codes and street rules, but he always seems to find himself embroiled in situations where he's given a little bit too much information to law enforcement, or he's being treated a little bit too lenient by law enforcement. Although we're not really gonna get into the Big U shit, we might get into it a little bit later. We wanted to get into a 2006 gun case where Wack100 and his brother, both convicted felons, were caught with seemingly an artillery of firearms. You know, shout out to Active Chuck's Deuce M's. We spoke to him later in the video. He gave us some insight. This was all information that he collected directly from the county office down there in Texas. So he'll talk to us about that later. In part one of the video, we spoke with gangster documentarian Al Prophet. In part two, we're really gonna break down this 2006 gun case and how it coincidentally lines up with an older story that we told you guys about Wack100 getting caught on wiretap with the Stutterbox, Liddell Rawls, Mark Stevens case and the Main Street Mafia Crips. So, hey, man, look, with no further ado, it's all gonna come together, man. Trust me, it's crazy. So, hey, with no further ado, man, it's your boy Michelle Guapo, man, Street Certified News. April 16th, 2005. Safety trooper Darren Chase was on a routine patrol on Interstate 40 in Wheeler County, Texas, when he would pull over a 2005 Cadillac for driving 77 in a 70-mile-per-hour speed zone. The driver, later identified as Cash McElroy Jones, stated that he was a truck driver and always ran about 5 miles over the limit. He also stated that he was en route to Tulsa, Oklahoma for a funeral. At some point during the traffic stop, the trooper would ask Cash Jones for permission to search his vehicle. After denying the request, K9 units were called to the scene. During the search, troopers located a black rifle, black shotgun, a loaded black pistol, along with several clips and large amounts of ammunition for each gun. Following the recovery of the firearms from the vehicle, both Cash Jones and his passenger, who would later go on to be identified as his brother, would be arrested, with both men being charged with unlawful possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Soon after this arrest, he would be briefly placed on a Fed hold before posting a $10,000 bond. Once out of jail, Wack100 would travel back to Los Angeles, where he would continue working with Death Row Records and Suge Knight. Only 2 years later, in January 2008, police would name Knight as one of the members of the Mob Piru Street Gang in a crackdown by authorities in the city of Compton. Despite his music industry connections and now managing Ray J and rapper The Game, Wack100's name would be left out of the crackdown. In that same year, Cash Jones, aka Wack100, would be caught on wiretap, informing business partner Mark Stevens that the Main Street Mafia Crip leader Liddell Rawls was under investigation for the kidnapping and beating of Robert Ross, aka Stutterbox. Liddell Rawls, who prosecutors said was the leader of the Main Street Mafia Crips gang, would be accused in a criminal complaint filed in February 2011 of directing members to kidnap, beat, and rob the victim, Robert Ross. CS2 Back would play a pivotal role in that case, both helping authorities connect the dots to Dale Dog via the wiretap phone calls and eventually helping Main Street beat their case.
Let's play Stutterbox talking to Wack.
This what I'm trying to figure out, though, Box. Help me understand this, because me and you both know that whole case was your thing. What is Mark saying I had to do with the case, bro?
Wack, listen, in the paperwork, it said you tried to call Dog, remember?
I tried to
and he
call
won't take
Dog.
your call. And I sent it to you. And he
I
said
talked to Dog.
But he said he didn't talk to you. He wouldn't take your call. But they said he wouldn't talk. Yeah, and Dog said he was cool. He didn't want to talk to you in the paperwork.
Mark
That's what you
tried
said.
to
You're going off of what...
That whole Main Street shit, that was your play. I had nothing to do with it. I was a victim.
Only 1 month after the indictment of the Main Street Mafia Crips, on March 9th, 2011, Cash Jones, aka Wack100, would appear in Texas State Court to have his charges finally dismissed from that 2006 unlawful possession of a firearm case, where he was caught with multiple firearms and ammunition. The stated reason for the dismissal was not lack of evidence or a violation of Wack100's rights, as he claims, but based on the paperwork, Wack100's gun case was dismissed in the interest of justice. So investigating this story, we tapped in with our brother Deuce M's from Apple Chucks, a very popular California-based media company. They really tapped into the streets, and you know, Deuce M's, man, this is somebody who, when it comes to Wack100, man, he's done extensive research on this guy. He really breaks down, you know, how Wack100, you know, and why he concocted this whole improper search and seizure thing.
So this is my question. So Wack has addressed this before, right? Because we know the story real. We got the paperwork. He can't dispute it. It's a real case. He really got caught with hella guns as a felon in Texas with other people. And his brother was a felon, right? So it was 2 felons that got caught. Right. So he's explained. Has he ever explained how these charges got dropped? Because you sent me the paperwork and I see what it say, and it says in the interest of justice.
I sent you the video where he claims that it was dismissed for illegal search and seizure, right? Now, within that same paperwork that you got, I got that paperwork from the clerk of Wheeler County, Texas, the deputy clerk, old Debbie McLaughlin, right? And you probably can see that on the email, right?
Right.
To verify where I got it from. And there was a motion to suppress the evidence, which essentially argued fruits of a poisonous tree based upon the argument that this was an illegal search and seizure.
Right, I saw that. And the judge denied that.
Right. Now, Wack, I'm going to send you the thing where Wack is saying that's how his case got dismissed.
I get pulled over and the search happened in Texas, right? So immediately, that's why they had the Fed hold. They like, well, yeah, you know, he crossed the state lines, but you can't prove none of that. How you know I didn't pick it up in Texas if she found something?
Wheeler County.
Wheeler County, there you go, Cass Jones, Wheeler County. Them motherfuckers. Hey, bro, shout out to Texas for having audio and video on the front of their squad cars. Because if I'd have been in Cali Beach, I'd have been fucked. I'd have had to take it. Yeah, because they have to write the report based on the audio, the video and the audio. Yeah. Like if I'd have been California, it'd have been my word against theirs, but an ex-con word against theirs on how they got it. Them niggas could have said they saw something on the back seat. They could have said all kind of shit. But because they had audio and video, that's what saved it.
Right. So basically, Wack is lying about why this case got dismissed, and we know that because we contacted the clerk in Texas. They sent the paperwork, and it clearly states that his motion to suppress was denied because the judge found that none of his rights got violated. They did the right kind of search, and this is what they found. So then when they had the right probable cause. So he didn't get that evidence suppressed. So then when I see the motion to dismiss, and the judge grants it, and I see it's a list of all of these things that it could be.
Right.
And it's a lot of
checked.
You said what?
One of the boxes is checked.
Right, only one of the boxes is checked. But the things that it could be were surprising because it was like lack of evidence. Nope, that's not the problem. Illegal search and seizure. Nope, that's not the problem. Like I think it said something like the person that died or something. It was like a few different reasons why they would drop the case. And none of those things were X'd off except for this thing that they call in the interest of justice. What's your take on what does that mean when a person get a case dismissed? Like what is in the interest of justice? What does that usually mean?
That was the first time I ever heard it, right? So in the interest of justice essentially means that the prosecution filed that motion to dismiss the case. So Wack100's attorneys and Wack100 had to convince the prosecution that it would be in the interest of justice that two ex-felons crossing federal state lines, making it traveling interstate commerce, making it a federal case, that sending out that message is that it's cool. It's in the interest of justice that we don't prosecute this dude, which is a far-fetched reach, right?
Especially in Texas. It's people that got 5 years for just weed in Texas.
Don't mess with Texas.
You know what I'm saying? So this is my other question. So like you said, he's trafficking guns across state lines. Him and his brother are already convicted felons. Somehow, some way, they get their charges dropped. Why did this thing never go federal?
Right? The feds have put a fed hold on him off of the top. He admitted to the police in a statement to the trooper, Darren Chase, that they had came from California and he was going to pick up his mother for because she can't travel. But the dude once Wack100 says that he got a bail, his brother didn't get bail, they let him out first. He only had $180, but he had a black card. He says that a white man picked him up, him and his brother, but if the bail bond was closed until a couple of days later, how did you? And then he said the airport was 50 miles away. He was transferred to Beaumont, a federal facility or some kind of holding facility in Beaumont. He was in jail for not just a night or overnight to the next day. He says 6-7 days later, he was still in jail on a hold, and that the feds came all the way to where he was at to tell him, hey, look, we don't want to pick up the case. Like, why would the feds come talk to you in person?
Right, they just wouldn't pick it up.
Or they would fax over information to the jail or to the district attorney in that city. Now, y'all can pick it up. We can't do it. Why did they have to come speak to you face to face and then you get a bail? You know what I'm saying?
And then they don't pick it up. So this was the interesting thing I'm gonna put in there, and it's gonna come with the story. Like I said, we working on the story. Within 1 month, so in my research, and this is a little spoiler, man. So you know what I'm saying? Within the research, that Main Street Mafia case where Wack100, we know by now, was caught on the wiretap. The indictment for that case was February 2011. That's when those guys got indicted. Now they end up the case getting dropped in June, but they got indicted in February 2011. Wack100
guy was going on before that,
huh?
But the case,
the case started in 2008. So yeah, I know the case started in 2008, and they was investigating it that whole time. Wack was caught on wiretap in 2008, but they actually didn't file the charges to 2011.
Because went to jail.
Coincidentally, a month later, Wack100 gets his Texas gun case dropped almost a month to the day in March of 2011. And
you did your calculation.
You could check the dates. I was gonna say you could check the dates. They indicted Dale Dog and Main Street Mafia Crips in February 2011 after a 3-year investigation or 4-year investigation. And a month later, Wack100 got his gun case dropped in Texas.
It's your boy, Emerxo Guapo, Street Certified News, man. The most reputable source for urban media. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all for staying tuned to this 2-part series. Shout out L Prophet, man. Shout out Deuce M. And like I said, man, really the moral of the story is a lot of these guys be lying about who they is, their life or whatever, and they perpetuating images that are not positive for the kids. And it's even more hypocritical because they perpetuate images that they not living even in the first place. So, hey, like I said, man, Street Certified News, the most reputable source for urban media. We appreciate you, man. Please hit that like, comment, subscribe, man. We love you. We out.